But I do want to kind of start and give a little bit of credit to Miami. Now, I'm not going to say credit. Let me not say that. I do kind of want to touch on Miami. I don't want to touch on it too much because they lost. But a lot of people now, the questions are, where does Miami go from here? You know, Miami was the number 1 overall seed in the East, and ultimately they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. And what we saw in the Eastern Conference Finals was Miami is a very limited team. Outside of Jimmy Butler, they don't really have a consistent player. We thought it would be Bam Adebayo, but he was very inconsistent. They paid Kyle Lowry to be consistent, but he was inconsistent. Now, I said this. Shouts out to the GOAT podcast with Marcus. I said this. The end of a playoff series usually brings clarity to your team. It brings clarity to what needs to improve, what went wrong. There's a lot of things that it brings. And the clarity that the Miami-Boston series brought, at least for Miami, was they need a consistent second score. Now, a lot of people ask, now they need to go get a star. They need to go get maybe a Bradley Beal, go get maybe a Donovan Mitchell. One of those type players. But I say that's only if Victor Oladipo does not turn into the Victor Oladipo that they thought they were getting. They thought they were getting the Victor Oladipo from Indiana. Now, I understand due to injury that hasn't been the case, so we'll see. But that is the Victor Oladipo they need. And we saw flashes of it in the finals. I mean, in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they need more consistency from him. Now, I know that's kind of a lot to ask his first year being back, but if Victor Oladipo can come back and be the Victor Oladipo from the Pacers, which was an all-star and a lethal scorer, then I don't think Miami needs another superstar. But that's really banking on Victor Oladipo. Not saying it's just him, because Bam needs to be better. I think they're looking at that Duncan Robinson contract, like how can we get off that? Because they paid Duncan Robinson to be a spot-up shooter, even though they know that, you know, he is not good defensively. Well, the problem was this year, or at least this playoff run, he was bad defensively and he couldn't hit shots. So what do you do with that? I think they're kind of now. I know going into this year, I said that probably the move of the offseason was getting Kyle Lowry, that is the Miami Heat. But I didn't know that he was going to just collapse like he did in the playoffs. Now, I think Miami can lie to themselves. Miami possibly can lie to themselves and be like, yeah, well, you know, Kyle Lowry was hurt and a lot of players were hurt and Jimmy Butler even got hurt. That's why we lost. No, you lost because you didn't have a consistent number 2 scorer. And you asked Jimmy Butler to do something that he's not really prone to doing, and that's scoring the ball. Now, he can score the ball, but he's not used to scoring the ball. Let me not say used to scoring the ball. That's not his number 1 trait. His number 1 trait is being, you know, defense, being a glue guy. Well, a glue guy to some people, but I think Miami's going to be okay. There's decisions to be made. Like, what do you do with Kyle Lowry? What do you do with Duncan Robinson's contract? You know, Tyler Hero, he got hurt, but even still, when he was healthy in these playoffs, he was damn near unplayable because kind of like Duncan Robinson, he wasn't hitting. He wasn't really doing anything productive. Yeah, it's Miami has some decisions to make, and I think I trust Pat Riley. I trust the Miami Heat organization that they're going to be able to retool and do what they do. But a lot of this is predicated on Victor Oladipo. And if Victor Oladipo is able to come back, you know, after the offseason, come back and be the Victor Oladipo that can score, you know, was a former All-Star, then Miami Heat will be fine. You pair him with Jimmy Butler, that's a perfect pairing. But if Victor Oladipo is not able to do that, then maybe take a swing maybe for Bradley Beal, for Donovan Mitchell, something like that. But we'll have to see.